The topic herein will cover many of the general situation for which a reading of a particular Psalms may come in helpful. Use it for a quick source for assistance, and let a daily reading of these Psalms become a habit in your daily life. Many blessings will be found among their inspired verses.
Nature and revelation alike testify of God's love. Our Father in heaven is the source of life, of wisdom, and of joy. Look at the wonderful and beautiful things of nature. Think of their marvelous adaptation to the needs and happiness, not only of you but of all living creatures. The sunshine and the rain, that refreshes the earth, the hills and the seas and plains, all speak to us of the Creator's love. It is God who supplies the daily needs of all His creatures. According to the book of Psalms 145, verses 15 and 16 says, "The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food at the proper time. You open your hands and satisfy the desires of every living thing." God made man, perfectly happy and holy, and the fair earth, as it came, from the Creator's hand. It is to be the transgression of God's law. The thorn, and the thistle, the difficulties and trials, that make his life, one of toil, and care, were appointed for his good, as a part of the training, needful, in God's plan, for his uplifting from the ruin, and degradation, that sin has wrought.
In nature itself are messages of hope and comfort. God is love is written upon every opening bud, upon every spire of springing grass. The lovely birds making the air vocal with their happy songs, the delicately tinted flowers in their perfection perfuming the air. The lofty trees of the forest with their rich foliage of living green, all testify to the tender, fatherly care of our God and His desire to make His children happy. The Word of God reveals His character. He has declared His infinite love and pity. When Moses prayed, "Show me thy glory," the Lord answered, "I will make all my goodness pass before thee." The Lord passed before Moses, and proclaimed, the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering, and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions in son."
God had bound our hearts to Him by unnumbered tokens, in heaven and in earth. Through the things of nature, and the deepest and tenderest earthly ties that human hearts can know, He has sought to reveal Himself to us. Yet these but imperfectly represent His love. That all these evidence have been given, the enemy of good blinded the minds of men, so that they looked upon God with fear. They thought of Him as severe and unforgiving. Satan led men to conceive of God as a being whose chief attribute is stern justice, one who is a severe judge, a harsh, exacting creditor. He pictured the Creator as a being who is watching with jealous eyes to discern the errors and mistakes of men, that He may visit judgments upon them. It was to remove this dark shadow, by revealing to the world the infinite love of God, that Jesus came to live amongst men.
Neither knoweth any man the Father, save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Matthew 11 verse 27. When one of the disciples made the request, "Show us the Father," Jesus answered, "Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Show us the Father?" John 14 verses 8-9.
To preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Luke 4 verse 18. To find out more about my steps to Christ, please see chapter 2. I hope you enjoyed chapter 1 of this journey. Please subscribe, and hit the notification button and never miss the next episode as it happens. Thank you and goodbye.